like the lighting.
Yeah, it
We're
works.
flipped though, aren't we?
Does it do a mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Should we bring that down a little bit so I can see the... What I really want is this up a little higher because it is pretty direct with the thing I have it on. Maybe I'll get a little...
Or I could get something. But...
I think we need to...
Glasses too.
It just needs a little perch.
Yeah, I think I've got something.
All right, we're getting ready for One Love Alignment Sunday. Hello, hello. We are getting ready for October One Love Alignment Sunday. Let's see, we got 4 more minutes. We're just doing a little sound check and we're going to bring the microphone up a little bit. How is the sound for you, those on YT? Can you hear it on here? And you guys over on TikTok, can you... sounds good. Awesome. Hi, Hannah. Thanks for joining in. Get to meet my husband tonight. All right. We're switching. I'm realizing that I always need to be on this side with my big drum so that I don't block anyone. All right. That's his. Sweetie, I put you on the other side so my drum doesn't block you out.
This is going to be too light.
I think I like that idea. That's perfect.
That works, okay.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of like that.
Okay.
So when you're talking, I'll kind of move it like that.
Okay.
All right. So how are you liking this? Is that too much going on?
No, it works. I would leave it.
Leave
it. Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Katya. Okay. And Katya says it sounds great.
Oh, good.
All right. We got 2 more minutes. Guys, if you are over on TikTok or over here in YT, feel free to share it with people. You're going to want to hear this October update. It's important. And then we're going to talk about how to work through this month. And then I will send you into La La Land with vocal energy healing and my heart bowl tonight. So share it with your friends. And we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. Thanks for the shares, Hannah. Okay. I wonder if I should move TikTok over here so they can see me doing this stuff more. Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get it.
Okay. We're just moving you guys over to the other side.
Does that work?
Okay. Good, but I just want to make sure they can see you. So tilt it this way so they can see you.
Yeah.
And bring it in a little closer.
Okay, I thought that was turned.
Yeah.
Does that work?
A little bit like that. There. Okay. I know it's just a little bit, but it makes a difference. All right, guys. All right, so we've got 1 more minute while we're here. Definitely put your name in the comments, where you're tuning in from. What we're doing here is building this community because we are moving to Europe, and we really want to have a nice podcast spiritual community online that we can tune into every month and feel connected, because we don't know who we're going to meet
Yeah.
in Europe, and that might take a while. So we just want some friends. All right, let's see. What's that say? Here in North Carolina. All right. So we have North Carolina. We are in Colorado. Okay. All right. It is 5:00. So welcome. Welcome to One Love Alignment Sunday. We're doing this podcast every first Sunday of the month so that Matt can give us an astrology overview of the month, what to look for, what challenges that we have to meet up with love, where we're going to ride free, right? Where the ease and joy is. So we're doing that on these One Love Sundays, and we're also having a little conversation about what love consciousness means to us and how we use it throughout the month through some of these things that the astrology is bringing up. And then I like closing with a little vocal energy healing and sound healing for you all. So it's just 60 minutes together. And it's just to build one love consciousness. And it's really for us to have a community to be with as we start our journey over to Europe. So thank you for being here. And all right, so I'm going to hand it over to Matt. And can you let us know about October?
Yeah. So
Here we go.
October is quite a month. I had to write a lot down for this one, and I'm going to have to read off a lot of the stuff just because I want to make sure it's explained as appropriately as it needs to be explained. I wrote it's as a month of reckoning. This is one of the biggest things kicking off tomorrow is a full moon. The full moon in Aries. I'll get into that a little bit more in detail, but just a quick overview. It shows, I wrote it here as showing what independence costs. So let me just read this quick little paragraph and then we'll get into everything else. Full moon in Aries, showing what independence costs. Then we get a new moon a couple weeks later, forcing renegotiation of relationships, while all the Scorpio activity is demanding honesty about what's working and what is not. And we have Pluto and Uranus working together. They have been working together for a while and will continue. It is pushing the world through some pretty radical shifts. I'm sure you all have been aware of it. There is a push to release old patterns, particularly in relationships and around your desires. And there are new patterns that are emerging, but they're not coming easily. Okay, they're coming, but they are going to. It's going to be maybe a little bit uncomfortable. I summing this all up as it's transformational fire. It's messy, it's necessary, and it is the required reading for the big tests that are coming up next year. So let me just explain a little bit more here. First, there's this backdrop, the backdrop of Pluto and Uranus that are in what's called a grand trine to Neptune and Saturn. Okay. These are all big, slow-moving planets. They don't change really quickly, but they do create what was often called generational changes, particularly Pluto and Neptune. They move very, very slowly. Pluto and Uranus also moves slowly, is harmonious aspects. It's rare and it's powerful. It's creating collective systems, making changes to technology and identity revolutions. So we've all
Dun,
been
dun,
witnessing loads of, like, obviously, like the AI and all of this. This is all very much Uranus and Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius. Then we have Neptune and Saturn enter in at the ending points of Pisces. Saturn had been in Aries for a short moment. Neptune is at the very beginning of Aries, and it's going to be dipping back into Pisces. Called it pressure valve. It asks if your ideals are well grounded. I don't want to get too lost in all of the planets and the aspects, in case for anyone listening, if you don't follow astrology too much, and just get into recognizing what these big shifts are causing. Generational movements. This month, it feels like the world itself is recalibrating. And for individuals, it's about breaking from old conditioning while experimenting with new possibilities. I'm going to move on now from, that's just the foundational piece. That those changes that are going on this month, they have been going on for a while now, and they will continue going on for quite a while. This grand trine of all these planets, again, it moves slow, so they will be continuing through the rest of this year and into next year. But it's good to know that these are some of these slow, gradual changes that we're all witnessing. One more thing I just want to say before getting deeper into this is that what I'm talking about are the transits that are happening right now. They affect us all. It affects each person a little bit differently. So Saturn going into the late degree of Pisces, you might have a late degree Pisces placement. And so it is affecting you much more strongly than anybody else. You may have all kinds of other things. You do. You have all sorts of other transits happening for your own personal chart. So one of the things that comes up for people is like they hear, oh, well, someone's saying, this astrologer is saying, like, it's big collective system changes, technology changes, but my technology, my life is staying pretty steady. It's because of your own chart is more unique. So it's important to understand what is going on in the collective for everybody. And then you talk to an astrologer to look at like your own chart and find out how it's affecting you in a more day-to-day way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
So if you are a triple Aries and this Aries full moon is coming up, would it be really affecting you?
Well, I will jump ahead one paragraph. Yeah, so I am actually more. I'm an Aries rising, moon, sun, and Chiron. And yeah, so the full moon happens tomorrow. This is an interesting moment happening here. There's a few different ways I want to look at that, but one of the things that just struck me is that for the last 2 years, there have been these eclipses happening in Aries. There has not been a new moon in Aries for 2 years. So normally you have a full moons and new moons are going on obviously every month. And when a new moon happens in any sign, it's a moment to feel the new potential for the energy of that sign, however it plays out for you personally. For anyone, everyone has Aries under your chart. So somewhere in your life, you have Aries energy that is being expressed. You, for 2 years now, you have not had a normal new moon. And this really hit me like just a bunch of bricks just a short moment ago. I was realizing this. This last 2 years have been a whirlwind for me. A whirlwind.
Whirl for both.
It's been tough. And I have a lot of areas. A lot of my personality is a lot of my intentions, my nurturing, my wounds, my emotional security. So much is in Aries, and I have been just wondering, like, what in the hell has been going wrong, man? For like the last couple of years, it's just like things are not quite unfolding the way I usually feel like they are. Normally, having all that Aries energy, I'm not the cliche Aries where I always want to get in a fight. I am the very much the Aries energy of being very independent and wanting to take charge. So all of you have Aries, that expression going on in your life somewhere you want to be independent and take charge, and you have been denied the ability to manifest within that energy for the last 2 years. And it's coming to this culmination point, this kind of finale tomorrow with the full moon in Aries. It's wrapping up this strange season of 2 years that have been this challenging period of time. I'm very excited, obviously, having so much Aries energies. It's so much about who I am and how I express and everything. But everyone, you have it in your seventh house of one-on-one relationships and how you work with like close friends or partners or business partners, anything. So anything you've gone through in the last couple of years is also coming to like a closure. So that is one of the aspects to this full moon. Okay. The timer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing with it is full moon in Aries. It's fiery, confrontational. It's tied to the eclipse of just last March. The moon is in Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is in Scorpio. This creates even more of this, not just fire, but getting underneath things, digging things out, the Scorpio energies of wanting to disturb what has been the status quo, get underneath and dig up secrets, dig up the deeper truth of everything. So these are energies that are all playing out. Shining light on your independence versus a desire for harmony. Moon is in Aries. Sun is in Libra. Harmony, justice, art, beauty. They're in opposites to each other for a moment. So that creates a little tug of war going on. And there's a couple other things here. Sorry, I scrolled so many little notes to myself. Mercury also squaring Pluto on the same day. Mercury just enters Scorpio on that day, tomorrow. This is revealing something through power struggles, digging under mental clutter. And we also have Jupiter in a square to Chiron. Jupiter's in Cancer. Chiron is in Aries right now. And this can magnify wounds of independence and self-worth. So all of this is happening tomorrow to really kick off a lot of this October month. I wrote one other little thing here. Yeah, I can skip that. We have a new moon that comes up near the end of the month. It's also wrote as it is not gentle. It is in a tight square to Jupiter. It's opposite Chiron. It's another echo of eclipse themes, demanding balance in relationships. So you can expect debates. You can expect a longing for justice or actually seeing justice and really discovering what partnership means. This may be happening for you on a very personal level. It may also be things that you witness in the world stage. And then just gonna see here. You look at the questions. I'll keep talking. Okay, we have a lot of planets shifting and changing signs this month. So Mercury goes into Scorpio tomorrow. Then it will go into Sagittarius at the end of the month. So late month shift into Sagittarius can flip the tone a little bit. Mercury in Scorpio is cutting deep. It is mental sharpness, and it's, I wrote here, truth gets weaponized. It's a time where secrets spill. It's, from one perspective, it's really good entertainment for watching things, from your room, watch on the phone, and you can, or on social media, and it can be good entertainment to see what happens in the world. For you personally, hopefully that is working out in your favor. But as it moves into Sagittarius later in the month, it becomes more philosophical, but it's also more unpredictable because it opposes Uranus. Uranus is the planet of breakthroughs, and so while it's also philosophical in Sagittarius, it can also be potential for a lot of philosophical breakthroughs, which can be, to me, is like that's like the best kind of conversation. So hopefully that's all good. We have a lot of activity with Venus going on. Venus has been with the South Node, meaning that it is bringing up the old patterns of desire, relationships, how you play out Venus energies in your life. So that can be challenging. It can be uncomfortable. It can be a little too comfortable, where you are settling in old ways that maybe don't work for you so much. Venus then moves away from the South Node and goes into Libra, and Venus loves being in Libra. It rules Libra. There is some caveats though to it. There's still the Jupiter and Chiron tensions happening at the same time. So it's a time when relationships, some kind of contracts, even artistic visions, they can be very tested. I'll move along here because it just seems like so much doom, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. All right, Sun moves into Libra a little later this month, on the 23rd. Energy turns inward, more intense. No, I'm sorry. I was like, why would I say that? It moves out of Libra into Scorpio. It's been in Libra. It'll move into Scorpio. That's why it's more intense. It's a final Libra stretch is packed with oppositions to Chiron, squares to Jupiter. Oppositions and squares are points of tension. Whenever planets are either opposite or square each other, they are there's more conflict going on. It's like the energies of those planets in our lives and the whole world, they are not aligning quite well. So this is a time when relationships, connections, again, are more thoroughly tested. I think you might be seeing a theme here. This whole month of October is tough for relationships, not just, like romantic relationships, but any kind of relationship that you work on with someone in a one-to-one way. It could be a business partner. It could be a sibling, someone who you're just in direct, close communication with is going to go through a lot of challenges. We have Neptune will leave leave Aries. It's retrograding back into Pisces and goes into what's called the critical 29th degree. Anytime a planet is at that 29th degree, it's a moment of where everyone wants to pay a little extra close attention to what's going on with it. It has been in Aries for quite a while now. So backtracking, it is a time of reigniting collective confusion and escapism, but also heightened empathy and imagination. So, and then last little bit here, I just want to Well, and there's a bunch going on too. For any of you who really get into astrology, Lilith is doing a whole bunch of fun stuff. Lilith represents the unbridled feminine energy. It can be where people have jealousy over you, however it fits in your own chart. But yeah, she's playing all sorts of fun stuff. So just expect a lot more raw edge around desire, rejection, taboo subjects. It's going to be a fun month. So I just want to give a quick little overview now, what you can take away with this. The month starts up from the 1st. We're on the 5th now, so the 1st to maybe about the 7th. I wanted even stirring relationship tensions that has been going on. There are old wounds that have been resurfacing, especially wherever you may have felt unseen in any kind of partnership. About the middle of the month, from about the 8th to the 18th, we have a whole bunch of squares and oppositions going on. It's big drama, power struggles, heated debates, potential for explosion, especially near the very around the end of that time, around the October 18th, is potential for some really challenging times. The end of the month, starting off with that new moon in Libra, it does mark some turning points. We have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, everything piles into Scorpio for a little bit. Energy turns investigative, obsessive, and more strategic. This month ends with Mercury opposite Uranus. Uranus shows shocking revelations, wild headlines, sudden clarity. So I'll just sum it up with this. It is a berserk month for sure. Berserk. Yeah. It's wild. It's potential for a lot of things getting churned up. Watching it outwardly is gonna, news headlines are probably gonna be even more dramatic than they have been. But for us personally, the best way to see this is coming back to what I was saying earlier, that it's the required reading for what are really bigger tests coming up in 2026, because there the astrology gets even more dramatic. So the more that we can work with this stuff and get comfortable at times with some of the discomfort that comes up, the triggers that we experience, the conflicts that we may have to go through at times, the more that we can navigate through that. Doesn't mean we have to be perfect mediators, but at least okay with understanding that it's not the end of the world. It's a moment. Then the more that we are rapidly building the emotional maturity tools that we all really need for dealing with other things that are coming. And when big challenges come, it is the best, and that is the ideal moment for great opportunities. So if nothing really changed, things might be fine, but they don't get amazing. So we need to have upheaval for things to potentially experience way better. And that's, to me, the silver lining with all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just all take a nice deep breath. That was amazing information. So it's but it was all very mental, and it's all very like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen type of thing. But what we're going to do now is we're going to really put it all in perspective, and we're going to have a conversation about how we navigate this in such a positive way. This is exciting. So let's just take a nice deep breath in. So we call these Sundays One Love Alignment, because that's what we're going to do here. That's how we're going to get through these hard times that Matt was talking about this month. One love. So as we're watching the stories unfold, the astrology and the stories that unfold with this month, if we can hold the broader perspective of one love, we can actually watch it as entertainment, but also be like, well, how can I be of service here? And also, how can this month be of service for me to move the clouds of density and tension so that I can live from this one love alignment more and more? And that's what's so exciting about this month.
Mhm.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, totally.
Like you were just saying, it's like an opportunity to really go into the shadow,
Yeah.
which means shadow work, inner child work. It means triggers as blessings, right? All of this stuff that gets uncomfortable if we go in knowing that this is what October is about in our relationships, in our systems, in our jobs, in our creativity. All of it's going to be brought to the surface to be triggered, to be reset, what was to be recalibrated for the highest good. The highest good is coming out of this.
Mhm.
So, what do you see as like the highest good from this month?
I think so if you think about issues with relationships, that is the only way you can really truly discover your shadow. Because here's a light shining on me. I don't get to see my shadow. My shadow's behind me. I need you to recognize my shadow, right? Yeah. It goes by both ways, you know.
We have a story about that in just
Yeah.
a minute.
So there's an interesting thing there, though, if that makes sense to you, that you don't really get to witness your shadow unless you are present with someone else in front of you. And because this month has so much opportunity, so much conflict, so much challenge and tension in how we relate, that is that opportunity to potentially discover your shadow more. And the more you discover your shadow is like how much more growth. I mean, I know sometimes there's moments where I'm like, I'm done growing. Can I just take a break? You know, like I feel like I've been at it for a while, but you get a break, take a break however you can, and you come back up and you realize, okay, you're maybe ready to handle some more growth.
Yeah. I would say it is a huge month not to bypass.
Hmm.
Not to quantum jump into spiritualness or, get out of your emotions fast. It is a time to acknowledge it and find that person that's going to see your shadows and help you process. So it's a time to just really hunker down. And if you're triggered, acknowledge it. So let me just go over these four simple ways that we're going to process this month. And then we want to tell you about what happened to us yesterday. So the first one is acknowledgement. And when we acknowledge, so say the trigger, say the recalibration is happening, say the rub and the tension in relationship is, hey there, is happening, you want to acknowledge it. You want to acknowledge the feelings that are coming up, the emotions, the discomfort, the trigger. And if you can, notice that it's a trigger, that there's a big feeling here that might not match the current situation, that it's really coming from a response from a past situation, a past subconscious hook. And so that acknowledgement is huge. And the second thing to do is, as you acknowledge it, process it. That means you can hum, right? You can sound it out. You can do some Reiki. You can, what else did I put? Work with Holy Spirit, work with access bars, tuning forks. You want to process the vibration of the acknowledged trigger. And then the third is forgiveness in the light of Course in Miracles, meaning forgiveness is forgive all my misperceptions that I saw myself as the egoic story and definition rather than wholeness and love and forgiveness, that I would see that person in front of me other than anything but love and wholeness. So that's the type of forgiveness we want to practice, is like once we've acknowledged the story, processed the energy, then we go into forgiving the whole co-creation. Because the truth is that the ego's stories actually is just a story. It's just a little drama taking place. All the world's a stage. It's just a stage. But when the curtains close, we get to be ourselves again. It's just we are wholeness and love. And then the fourth one is remember that one love energy. Fill back up. Remember your love. So it's just, even if you're with a partner, like face each other heart to heart, and just, you can even do this. We do this sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hold on to each other's hearts and just remember the love. The fact that we're here doing this right now is remarkable, because yesterday we were actually cursing each other out and got really pissed off of each other. And his shadow was coming up and I was seeing it and I was asking about it. But there was, would you say that there was like something like a trigger from a past like subconscious program that came up?
Maybe.
Like of
Probably.
not being heard?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I've been through so much in the last 24 hours. I've kind of forgotten a lot of the details already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to say, we both have our moons and Aries, and for the most part, we do really well. But sometimes when there's conflict, that Aries energy can.
And I have Aries too. So we wound up walking away. I was walking away mad. He was sitting there mad. And then we just took the day apart and we didn't talk about it. And the thing is, guys, when this stuff comes up, we don't have to feel shame or guilt. It's the ego playing out its temper tantrums. This 4 steps I just gave: acknowledgement, process, forgive, and love. It's not bypassing, but it also doesn't have to take days and weeks and months. You can actually resolve this in 5 minutes. So when we were taking our time apart, I actually was in my room and I did this process. And I kept thinking, oh, I'm just going to text him and stuff like that. I just got busy with other things. But when we met up in the morning, we were back into the present moment. See, the present moment of one love doesn't have the past argument in it unless you bring it to that present moment. And it's taken us a while. I mean, we didn't even do this on purpose, but like we both just got super present. Let that go. And both of us are pretty good at processing our own stuff. Even when we were in counseling years ago together, our counselor really was an advocate for processing your own stuff. There's not a lot you have to process together if you're really willing to own and process, acknowledge your own shadow, wouldn't you say?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think a good therapist will tell you that the real work you ever have to do is on your own. It's your own internal stuff. You have to look at what's your part in it. How are you playing out? And then recognizing someone has helped you see your shadow. How do you move through that? And yeah, it doesn't mean you never talk about it again. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes there is something to obviously talk about for sure. We occasionally do, but yeah, I think that really it's an independent thing that you address and then feel immense gratitude for that opportunity that someone was able to help you see that. And it's really awesome if that someone is still willing to be there by your side.
Right. Like sometimes we can hold grudges and sometimes it's hard to just come back the next day. But we've been together 23 years and I don't know, when I'm in the study of the Course in Miracles right now, and they just really talk about staying in the present moment, staying in the present moment in the truth of yourself. And that's what's going to help us this whole month,
Mm.
is just keeping coming back to the present moment. Do not bring the old shadows, the old stuff into the present moment. The truth of you is whole and love. And if you can look through those glasses at everyone else, then there won't be any grudges. There won't be any, but there, again, we're not bypassing. We're going through that 4-step process. And that can be done in 5 minutes. It can be done in 20 minutes. It can be done over and over, however much you need it. But this month, that's the process, the four steps: acknowledgement, process with, sound, spirituality, Reiki, however you want to do it, shake, dance, whatever works for you.
Or internal family systems. I think I
Yeah.
saw someone write there, something about inner child work. I mean,
Mhm.
whatever is going to help.
Yeah. So I do voice work with people, and we combine the internal family systems with the voice work. It works really well together. And our friend Katja on here on YT does inner child work. So, there's so many avenues you can do to do a little processing. And then the next step is that forgiveness, the way, the forgiving, the co-creating of being in the story rather in the present moment of one love. And then fill yourself back up with love. So we're recalibrating. Think of it this way. How do you like this? Recalibrating our one love alignment this month.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of a
because
good theme for it all.
yeah, and that every part of the astrology is challenging us. So here we are in one love alignment, and each moment of the astrology is saying, yeah, but, and so what are we going to do with that?
Mhm.
And so, we're already there. Think about that. We're already in one love alignment. We're already perfect, whole, complete in love. And then we would get thrown a little curveball. How far out of the bubble will we go until we process and come back in?
Mm.
Let's see, acknowledgement process. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, and Matt, do you have anything you want to questions or?
No, I think that it's just, I'm seeing that really is a great, again, it's opportunity.
Mhm.
And, I think that anytime you're going into challenges that are there, like I'm thinking of this still, maybe in tying into kind of like the astrology as well. Like that's, if you want to get better at anything, like if you're playing a sport and you want to get better, you don't play against people who are worse than you. You never really improve that way. The only way to improve is to play against people who it's so frustrating, but they constantly keep beating you. But you improve. That's the challenges that creates opportunity. And I think that when we take that same idea into how we deal with our life on a much deeper level, and to really explore, this idea of one love. What is, Bob Marley was talking about it 50 years ago, a whole bunch, but what does it really mean? What does it mean to experience this quality of love that isn't attached to just you as an ego, but a thing that you are actually participating in some way, that everyone is feeding into, and there's great potential there. It just
Yeah, that's beautifully said. I just wanted to get to this question because I
Mhm.
think it's this is a question probably we all have. What can I do to help release the past? That is actually a really great question. And one of the things I do with people is help them release the past through their voice. Now, you will have indicators of the past. So the idea is to have your intention of staying in the present, but through triggers and shadow and emotions, we start to see that the past is coming to the present. So there really is only the present moment. The past comes to the present through our emotions and triggers, right? And when that happens, you have this beautiful opportunity to feel those emotions. You can give your voice to those emotions, like with humming or a vocal tone. It's amazing how fast the voice works. It's such a bridge to help you come from the past to the present moment and get more present and more present in your life. So so the past isn't, we're all here. We're all here in the present moment. There is no past right now. There is no past right now. We only bring the past into the present when we have an emotion about a past memory or a past subconscious program, or we're triggered, right? So that trigger. So would you say you were triggered yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say it was from something that happened in the past?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't clear on exactly what, but yeah.
Okay. So the trigger is something that's reminding us of a program that we established in the past. So that's the way the past comes to the present. And so for that moment, acknowledge it, see it, there it is. And there's the misperception I created. So everything, Course in Miracles talks about this, that um, anything that produces suffering with us is actually a misperception. So acknowledge the misperception, acknowledge the trigger and emotions that are up, and then find that way to process it, which can be your own way. And that's what you're asking is like, you can do Reiki on yourself. You can offer it up to God, offer it up to the Holy Spirit. Please take this. I acknowledge it. Please take this from me. Humming. You think about and acknowledge, and then you hum it out, or you give it a vocal tone until it smooths out. And then you forgive yourself for having that misperception that I would be anything but love, anything but wholeness. And then you just give yourself love. So that's how I do it. How would you
In different ways.
process the
And I
past?
think someone here wrote, which I think is also important, saying the lessons are there. Sometimes the loops come as a repetitive pattern to
Mhm.
teach us lessons. So after doing inner work, we're able to learn those lessons. So yeah, so I think there's, I look at the astrology aspect, and there are wounds that are, when I started working through internal family systems, I started mapping it all out, realizing it correlated exactly to my own natal chart. And what that shows me over and over is that some of the patterns that come up, those are the opportunities to turn the wound into the ability to okay, first I'm going to just say some of the wounds in some regard maybe never heal in this lifetime. That's one aspect. That's one idea that's presented, at least within astrology. But you get power over them by embracing them entirely. And what you end up doing then is actually being you can serve as a healer to other people. You can help other people heal their wounds just by the act of fully embracing your own. So coming back to the idea of triggers or wounds, shadows, everything that you're going through in a pattern that comes up, if you continue to fight and push it out and say, no, it was you did this to me, you're missing the chance to realize that there's this thing that you're feeling. So when you can really feel that, I think that's that moment that you can fully embrace it and no longer, it doesn't mean that it won't ever come up again.
No, not at all.
Certainly will come up.
You're just taking that one part. So the thing is like, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You just work through what's apparent right now. And when I say acknowledge, I would mean if there's a lesson there, acknowledge it. If there is an awareness there, acknowledge it. There's an emotion there. The acknowledgement piece is to just recognize all that's there. So of course, there might be some lessons there. There might be some good awareness there. So by no means am I saying to bypass like lessons and stuff. Sometimes they're there. Sometimes you don't sometimes love just takes care of it. Honestly, I've worked with this lesson idea for years until I was so, and I was working at the psychology of things for 50 years and with this one relationship, and things just kept happening in a very hard and difficult way until I literally just gave it up to my higher self. I completely surrendered it. The way I remember the past now is gone. Like I can't really remember the past anymore. I am super present in this relationship. There's just love in this relationship. The ultimate lesson is, are you willing to see yourself as whole in love? And are you willing to see the person in front of you as whole in love? Not the roles that they've played, not the things that they've said or done, not their behavior, not your own behavior. So really the ultimate lesson that everything is teaching us is, are you willing to be you? Are you willing to be whole? And you're willing to be love? Everything challenges that. And that is like the ultimate lesson. So acknowledge all of it, process it, and then come back to love right here, right in the present moment. Any last words? Because like, this has just been a beautiful setup, I think, for doing some vocal energy healing. Anything that's up at this beginning of this October, in relationships or anything you want to recalibrate, we're going to do that now with the vocal energy healing for the last 15 minutes. So any last words? I like the definition of transmutation of the as transcend included. Nice.
Mm.
Love astrology, so helpful. Understand. Nice. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Any last words for that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
You know, my last words are, just remember, the ego wants you continually, actively analyzing your story, because in analyzing it, it stays alive. The story stays alive. What I've come to know in this past few months of really getting into Course in Miracles is that the simpler, the better. It's just, every time I go into analysis and too into the mental state, the ego is so alive, and it prevents me really from seeing the heart of the situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so analysis of the lessons, analysis of the wounds, it's nice to know them, but let's not treat them as a false idol. You know, let's broaden our perspective and see it's just a stage. Just like Matt was saying, broaden your perspective, and you're going to watch some interesting headlines. This is the Great Awakening unfolding. This is systems breaking down for better ones to come. And it's going to happen in personal lives with relationships too. So just stay present, acknowledge, forgive, process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From analysis, I shift into feeling the entire emotional arc. Well, however you can feel deeply is a beautiful thing. So if analysis does that, make sure you go from analysis into emotions, into processing though. Sometimes notice your own patterns. Where do you get stuck? Do you get stuck in analysis in your head? Do you get stuck in the emotions? Because we can get stuck in both of them. Make sure you're acknowledging them, acknowledging your patterns, process that, forgive yourself for the misperceptions, and get back into love. You might have to do that process that I just talked about like 5 times a day. That's okay. But don't stay on the same thing and stuck in the emotion or the mental space. So for now, take a deep breath and notice what this talk might have brought up for you. Maybe resistance to what Matt or I were saying, or maybe some ahas. Maybe it brought up something with your relationship or something that you want to recalibrate, and put it into the sound that you're going to hear. Okay. I just make sound from my source self, and I get out of the way and let the processing and the activation happening. So whatever you want from this, you can get. All right. Okay. So here we go. Coming into your heart space. Notice if your body, mind, and spirit will let you come into your one love alignment. If so, wonderful. If not, just notice. We take this moment to feel into our heart space. That space that connects us all in one love. Aligning now with one love alignment. Seeing past, present, and future all happening at the same time. We send this love into all of October as the energies that play with us offer us a gift and a blessing and a challenge to come into the lesson of love over and over and over again. We acknowledge and say thank you and appreciate and have gratitude for every trigger, for every challenge. And in those triggers and challenges this month, we say yes to love over and over again. May it be so. Beautiful beings, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. You appreciate the bandwidth. Oh, wonderful. So we're going to do this. This is our monthly podcast every first Sunday. I think for a while we're going to do it at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, so everyone can do their morning stuff that they do on Sundays. And join us. What's the next one? Do you know what November?
November.
I think it'll be November 2nd after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Or Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Yeah.
After Halloween, yeah. So it'll be November 2nd. We'll be back here. And thank you so much for joining in. Any last words?
No, just accept, enjoy the ride.
Whee! All right. Thanks, everybody. And this will be a playlist, so you'll be able to see all the months. Look forward to it. All right. It'll be fun at the end of the year to look back at all the months, and we can see what you said about it, how it worked out. Yeah. That might even be a good idea to kind of sum up the following month, how it worked out. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah. I just gotta sum up myself a little bit more. If I gotta take a talk for quite a while, I don't know how long it's with a kind of a attention span there is for all this. So,
well, you got the attention span. I mean, seen people. Did you guys like the astrology piece? Did you like the length of the astrology piece? TikTok was
barely there,
but yes. So keep it moving. Liked it. So
okay, cool.
So let's see. I'll still be in Poland. Wow. Feminine medicine. Oh, wow.
Dark feminine medicine. Whoa.
In Poland. Wow. All right. Well, enjoy that journey.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
That's awesome.
All right.
With all the Lilith activity, what a great time to do something called Dark Feminine Medicine Retreat.
Yeah.
It's like perfect.
Know, right. I know. All right. Well, let's just take our hearts and just... We'll see you guys next month.
Okay.
And just a little plug for my stuff. Monday night is we'll be doing a live with just vocal energy healing and talking about sound healing and voice. And on Tuesday morning, we do 3 minutes of love. Hold the love frequency with us. Okay. See you later.